Hello, you're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli. Now, as Pakistan investigators continue to trace the sequence of events behind the deadly suicide bombing at Islamabad's Imam Bargah Khadijah Al-Kubra. As per Pakistan media reports, authorities have identified the specific attacker as a resident of Peshawar who allegedly underwent militant training in Afghanistan. According to Pakistan media reports, the attacker, identified as Yasir Khan Yasir, had reportedly stayed in Afghanistan for nearly 5 months before returning to Pakistan. As per reports, Pakistani investigators are also exploring potential connections between the suspect and the Islamic State Khorasan province. Ajay Jandyal is joining me with more details. Ajay, what more can you tell us?
Investigating it properly so that they can get more detail about the person who basically was responsible for this. Person who basically was responsible for this massive major attack in Islamabad in Pakistan, where 31 people have lost their life and more than 100 people they are injured. And sources are saying that during the investigation they have found that the person basically who have carried out attack, he was there in the Afghanistan. So definitely they will investigate it further so that get more detail, and the way basically they are trying to blame one and the other, that is not going to work if the investigation reveals something else.
All right, Ajay, thanks for joining me. I have Commodore Dr. Bhushan Diwan. He's a defense expert joining me on the broadcast. Commodore Diwan, welcome. And Commodore Diwan, when it comes to Pakistan as a whole, as a country, this country cannot be trusted with anything. And these reports are coming in from the Pakistani media where they're saying that the attacker was a Peshawar resident who trained in Afghanistan. How credible do you think is this information?
Fine, trained in Afghanistan, fine, because surely Afghanistan is fomenting trouble for Pakistan, it's known now, and even TTP and also Taliban of Afghanistan, they're doing it. So they have done a Peshawar trained person or Afghanistan trained person, so that doesn't concern us. They want to say that through Afghanistan, India is doing it. That is a ridiculous claim that they are making. They cannot keep their own house in order, and they find scapegoats. If they're going to keep people under so much stress, economic stress, and breakdown of law and order, and confusion and chaos and dissatisfaction all over in the public, so then what do they expect? They have to handle it themselves. Blaming it on others is just an easy way out, and just to escape look at the level of poverty and poor governance in Pakistan since the right from independence, in fact, of independence of Pakistan in 1947, because the military rulers couldn't care less about the public welfare or these economic growth, industries, jobs, or hospital care and so on and so forth. So, it's a country which is uncoiling, unraveling, into breaking apart, and but military rules couldn't be bothered because their own families are safe. They've already taken visas to go abroad, and they have huge bungalows in Dubai and UK and so on. So when you in modern times, if you have so much dissatisfaction, internet is there, everybody knows what's happening, and plus the high prices are known to everybody, hunger is rampant, so these things are bound to happen. This is what they have to tackle. And democracy, no voice, and you can't suppress the voice for so long of every common man. This is a modern sign. Look at Gen Z taking charge in Nepal out of the blue. Look at Bangladesh students fomenting a revolt and successfully. It's happening everywhere. Pakistan doesn't want to see the writing on the wall. So they're going to suffer more of these things, and then they keep blaming others. The point is that there's no democracy, no voice of the people is not being heard. So this is bound to happen, and blaming India is ridiculous and ludicrous.
In fact, I was coming to that point, Commander Dr. Bhushan Diwan. This shocking, absolutely ridiculous claims that Pakistan has made, that was in fact my next question. But now I want to ask you also that, you know, does this attack match ISKP's past targeting patterns, particularly attacks on Shiite religious sites?
Yeah, surely it does. In fact, it is very surprising, Vishali, that, you know, on the one hand, we talk about Islamic Brotherhood. On the one hand, we talk about, you know, consistency and mutual love and loyalty between all Muslim sects. But, you know, there are 74 Muslim sects, surprisingly. Many people may not know that. Of course, the major ones are Sunnis and Shias. And, you know, whether you go to Iran, the Shias dominate, then Sunnis have problem. You go to Iraq, the same thing. You go to Pakistan, Sunnis are dominating Shias, Ahmadiyas, and so many other sects have problems. And, you know, even the history of the this religion, if you take Islam religion per se, that, you know, there have been dissensions within their own groupings. And I mean, look at Yemen now, for example. Muslims are sadly killing their own brother, whether it is Yemen or in Iraq and Iran. So this kind of dissensions, and why it happens, I'll tell you. The psychology is that moment you create an environment, an atmosphere of intolerance to anything, non-acceptance of anything different from me, it creates such kind of violence and chaos. So I am Islam, I am Shia, you are Sunni, and you know, you are also follow Islam, same Allah, same Prophet, and I also follow same thing. But slight differences, I take to weapons. I come down to killing you. This is happening all over the world actually. You know, this is a time has come in the modern times, when the information travels so fast all over the world, therefore, you know, you have to really, the reform movement has to take shape big time in Islam religion, so that, you know, the more freedom should be there and more openness should be there, and that is not happening in Iran. You see, one can learn from others' lessons. Look at the Iran, you know, regime protests. What they are saying? They're saying Islam is not a religion, and, you know, our is Zoroastrianism. We don't want this kind of thing. So the current scenario is that the world over, globally, the world is a big village, and, you know, you can't do this kind of intolerance, promote intolerance. Well, the trouble is with Pakistan's whole existence is based on fomenting and selling their own industries, terrorism and killing and jihad. If this is their industry, they have been, you know, nurturing right from General Zia's time, 13 years, 14 years, he gave with religious leaders a big powers to. That's a method to control people. Look at Saudi, even they are, you know, they are also liberalizing. UAE, they're also liberalizing. Rich country, full of oil, full of wealth. People are enjoying such a high standard of living. They also know their time is limited. That, you know, the oil will finish as a big source of, rich source of income for them, because fossil oils are on the wane actually globally. They are also waking up, which is center of Makkah, Medina, center of Islam. But Pakistan won't take a lesson. They will not open up. So if they don't open up, this will happen. More of these things will happen. And look at April last year, 2025. What the Field Marshal Asif Munir, I'm an army naval officer, and he's an army officer like Munir. Same British army traditions and secular approach. And what did he say before attacking Pahalgam? No, Hindus and Muslims are two different nations. They cannot coexist. They cannot thrive and strive and live peacefully. This is the philosophy. This is the thought process. It shows in everything. Intolerance shows in everything.